Hello, everyone. My name is Elise Steele, and I'm Compassion Connect's Portland Regional Director.
And I'm Anna Johnson, our Communications Director.
In an hour, we will kick off our official 80s fabulous program, but for now, we wanted to give everyone watching a big welcome.
And introduce you to our special musical entertainment, Michael Allen Harrison, who will be playing his beautiful piano music for us for about the next hour with a few special commercials mixed in.
So, whether you're watching as an individual from home or as a part of a watch party here in the Pacific Northwest or across the country,
we hope you enjoy the music and we look forward to what this evening has in store. And for the watch parties out there, don't forget to post pictures of your group having fun using the hashtag CC 1980's Telethon.
And now, let's welcome Michael Allen Harrison.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Allen Harrison, and what a pleasure and an honor to be here to help Compassion Connect bring restoration and love to our community. I get to share with you some of my wonderful piano solos and also introduce some of my special guests and artists that I just love to collaborate with. This first song is a song that I wrote. It's called Calling on Angels, and it features Haley Johnson on vocals. Calling on Angels is about calling out to the angels above us for help. It's about calling out to be angels to each other, and more importantly, it's a call to be an angel to yourself.
Calling on angels, your wings my shelter. Calling on angels, following me. I hear your voices, lifting my spirits, whispering love songs of beautiful dreams. When we're together, we can move mountains, calling on angels, never alone. Raise your hearts in the deep sunrise. All of our fears can be laid aside, and love arrives on magic wings. So live each day like a sacred quest. Calling on angels, your wings my shelter. Calling on angels, following me. I hear your voices, lifting my spirits, whispering love songs of beautiful dreams. When we're together, we can move mountains, calling on angels, never alone. Be I hear your voices lifting my spirits, whispering love songs of beautiful dreams. When we're together, we can move mountains, calling on angels, never alone.
Darn it, Brenda! Why do I always have to put up these lights? It's always cold and wet, and I'm always getting just electrocuted. You know, thinking about it, a good friend by the name of Mylan gave me a phone number of a great company. I think it's called Uptown Lights. Talking about it, I think their phone number's 971-245-9995. Let's give this a try. Whoa, who are you?
Hi, I'm Andrew with Uptown Lights and Uptown Painting.
Wow, are you here to help me with my lights?
I am here to help you with hassle-free Christmas lights.
Wow, good thing, because Brenda wants this done today.
Well, we can help you out.
Wow, you know what? Can you clean my roof?
Absolutely.
Gutter cleaning?
We do that too.
You know what? While you're at it, you seem like one jack of all trades. Do you paint kitchens?
Absolutely. We have Uptown Painting as well for interior and exterior painting.
Wow. Well, how do I sign up or get an estimate?
You just call 971-245-9995. Also, a unique thing about Uptown Lights and Uptown Painting is that 10% of every job goes to local nonprofits like Compassion Connect.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. You imagine no possessions. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion to imagine all the people, oh, sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. It's a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people living life as one. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. No, 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 no. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Oh, we must live as one. Oh, for the babies, yes, for the children. We must live as one.
Hello, my name is Ashley and welcome to The Real Deal. Today we have Mylan, the Executive Director of Compassion Connect. We're going to be interviewing him about the 80s days. So Mylan, tell us about the fashion trend that you are so glad is just off the market.
Oh, that's a hard one. Neon bike shorts come to mind.
Okay.
Turtlenecks, was never a fan of turtlenecks. And I swore as a small child never to wear corduroy pants because I was dressed too often in corduroy pants. And so I still have never worn corduroy pants since I was old enough to make that decision myself.
Okay, that's huge. Maybe as an old man, you will dip into corduroy
Yeah,
pants.
when someone dresses me again,
Yes.
then I will go back to corduroy.
So Mylan, tell us your favorite 80s fashion trend.
Oh, favorites. I had a couple favorites. One was slap wrist bracelets. That was a favorite of mine. I also enjoyed the neon side stripe biker spandex shorts. And my top favorite was for sure Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sweatpants that lasted well into the 90s and my teenage years.
That is great. That's great.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Yes. So Mylan, when you think of the 80s, what music comes to mind?
I had a pretty colorful music home because parents had different tastes. So I had a span. I remember a little bit of Black Sabbath. I remember a lot of Michael Jackson and a lot of Madonna. And the most common played was probably the Raffi tape.
Do you have is there a song from that tape you just love?
You know, I still wake up sometimes singing Baby Beluga. It just happens.
That's a classic. That is a classic. spending a time with payphones and paper maps. So Mylan, will you please tell us what a favorite memory is from the 1980s?
It's gotta be Saturday morning cartoons.
That is so good. If we were sitting in your house right now with you on a Saturday morning, what would it be like?
Oh yeah, it'd be an old worn out woven couch, a big bowl of non-sugary cereal because I wasn't allowed sugary cereal, and it would probably start with Sesame Street because that's what I was allowed to watch, and then when the parents were gone, I would switch to G.I. Joe's, He-Man, definitely Thundercats. That was probably my favorite.
Oh, that's great. So breaking the rules at a young age.
Yeah, indulging a little.
That's great. Thank you so much for being here today and watching this awesome episode of The Real Deal. Mylan, we just appreciate you so much for being here. And on your behalf, we have a special gift for our studio audience.
Wonderful.
So, in that, you get a turtleneck, you get a turtleneck, and you get a turtleneck. Again, thank you so much for being here today, and keep it real.
Sure hope you enjoyed all the music we shared tonight. I want to invite you all to see our Christmas at the Old Church television special on December the 10th on KGW Channel 8. That'll be an hour special. Also producing a 2-hour version that will be available on pay-per-view, which will include a sing-along with me, yours truly. We'll do about 20 minutes of Christmas carols around the piano. And then also I'm recording an hour of beautiful, soft Christmas carols just to have in the background during dinner, or to enjoy while you're trimming your Christmas tree, or just have a beautiful meditation and get closer to God and the spirit of the season. Thank you so much for being here tonight. God bless you all.
We all want to be part of something bigger than ourselves. But there is a world of fear that gets in the way. Fears of the unknown and the lines that divide us. Doubts, hurdles, and so much more that holds us back. There's something about love God and love thy neighbor that can feel unattainable. Many of us sit in church weekly, wondering, where do I fit? How do I put these words into action? How can I make a difference in the midst of the brokenness and division in my neighborhood, in the world? But each and every one of us is needed on this journey. And we were never meant to do it alone.
At Compassion Connect, we believe that neighborhoods suffer when churches compete and passionate people don't have an outlet to serve. So we create tools that invite people to put their faith into action and churches to unite to respond to the suffering in their neighborhoods.
People think that living on mission is reserved for pastors, but Compassion Connect is a great example of everyday people using their gifts to serve their neighbors. It's a beautiful picture of serving where you are with what you have, and I think people in the community who are not of a faith background recognize the power in that as well.
For the past decade, we have come alongside hundreds of churches and thousands of volunteers to provide tried and trusted models of service, guiding a way towards a future where churches everywhere are choosing unity instead of division and compassion instead of complacency. A world where people of faith have an outlet to express the compassion of Jesus to the hurting and broken in their own backyard.
It's the chance to be part of the biggest movement of all. God's church coming together as one to serve and love as Jesus did. It's time to say goodbye to guilt, apathy, fear, and feeling alone. It's time to unite to serve.
evening, everyone. My name is Rosh Abernathy, and I have the pleasure of hosting Compassion Connect's 12th annual fundraising event. I am a huge fan of Compassion Connects, so I'm thrilled to have the honor of sharing this evening with you tonight. First, I'd like to give a massive thanks to our musical entertainment, Michael Allen Harrison, who just took my breath away with his amazing piano playing for the past hour. You may have noticed the scenery is a bit different than in years past. Not only is this our first ever virtual event, but this is also our first ever 80s Telethon themed event. We know this is a fairly different experience than in years prior. So a massive thank you to everyone who is tuning in tonight. Compassion Connect's work of uniting churches to serve their communities together is only possible because of each of you. It's all of you who drive this work forward, and you who help change the lives of thousands in the Pacific Northwest and beyond. We want to continue partnering with you in these challenging times, so tonight's fundraiser is a crucial first step. At this time, we're excited to announce that our presenting sponsor of this fabulous 80s event is DCI. Based in Newburgh, this incredible local company makes dental tools, parts, and operatory equipment. For over the past decade, DCI has donated 11 mobile dental chairs and 12 dental operatories in addition to supplying equipment to our remote teams in Arizona and India. Their generous gifts have represented a significant increase in both the quality of care and the quantity of people we are able to serve. We're extremely thankful to DCI for partnering with us to sponsor this event and mobilize churches and individuals to serve their neighbors through the medium of health. Now, before we get started, if you're watching virtually, we want to make sure that you click share, round up all of your friends to enjoy the show remotely. We are also asking that you update us with shout outs, pictures, or videos on social media by using the hashtag CC1980's Telethon. That's # CC1980's Telethon. Share all of your fun videos and photos on Facebook or Instagram, or both, to be entered into a raffle to win some fun, amazing Compassion Connect swag. Winners will be announced at the end of the program, so post now and post often. This year has had its fair share of surprises. I mean, did anyone think that the 80s would come back into vogue? Or that we witnessed the most majestic mustaches and beards since Magnum PI? Or that we would have our own version of the mullet except on Zoom? You know, business on top, pajamas on the bottom. I have with me here Mylan Humla, Executive Director and Co-founder of Compassion Connect. And I have to ask, Mylan, would we have seen you sporting a mullet?
No, I was way too young. No mullet.
What about the Zoom version?
Zoom, at this point, I mean, who hasn't done the Zoom mullet?
Well, Mylan, I know you would like to make a different type of statement about Compassion Connect and how they're moving forward in such a time as this.
Yeah, thanks, Rosh. As everyone watching tonight knows very well, 2020 has certainly brought its own unique challenges. It's been a heavy year as we've witnessed the rise of a global pandemic that has devastated many, as well as social divisiveness of massive proportions. But what's broken our hearts the most, as an organization, because as an organization focused on unity and compassion, is the way many have turned against one another, brother against sister, friend against friend, even within the church. These are heavy things that we bring to God with open arms, acknowledging our need for wisdom, strength, and His love. That's why the title of our event tonight is For Such a Time as This, based on the powerful story of Esther from the Bible. It was times where inadequacy, just like now, is only remedied by trusting the Father of hope and becoming a willing instrument of grace and truth. In this moment we're facing, we know that as the church, we're called to live out the unity Jesus prayed for in John 17, practicing a different kind of love and justice. By tuning in tonight, you're a part of a growing tribe of people who are choosing compassion over complacency and unity over division. And we can't thank you enough for that. And because laughter is just good for the soul, we also want to have a little fun tonight. Our hope is that the program will bring a little light where there's been some darkness. We want you to leave tonight having laughed, but also having been inspired. So I'm looking forward to having you tonight and getting through and just having a great time. And I'm going to turn it back over to Rosh.
Absolutely right. So before we get into our righteous program tonight, and by righteous, I mean the 1980 sense, not in the biblical, let me tell you, our fundraising goal tonight is $100,000. And thanks to our amazing event hosts, business sponsors such as DCI, Uptown Lights, who made this amazing sign behind me, the Village Vet, CAD Connection LLC, Chick-fil-A Portland, Diaspora Coffee and Chai, and Mercy Gray Designs, we are already starting off the evening with $25,164, which is amazing. This meter is already heating up. Tonight, we want this to come to a full broil with your generous gifts. 100% of your gifts will go towards mobilizing churches and their passionate volunteers with resources to love and serve their neighborhoods in a variety of ways. You'll hear and see more about that in just a few minutes. So stay with us. All right, so now you can make a donation at any time tonight. If you choose to become a monthly donor, your entire year's pledge will be counted towards our end goal, which is very exciting. There are several ways to give, all of which will be scrolling at the bottom of your screen throughout the evening. So if you forget, just look at the banner below. One way to give is by using our text to give phone number. To do that, first you want to ask a millennial, or simply text an amount that you want to give to the phone number displayed at the bottom of your screen. Click the link that appears. It'll take you to our online giving page where you can complete your gift. Another way is to simply go straight to our website, www.compassionconnect.givingfuel.com, which is also listed below. And finally, we prefer all online methods, but you can also give us a call in studio to kick this telethon themed event off right. Our friends back here are just here to have a little fun, but one of our lovely staff can take your gift over the phone. To do that, simply call the number on your screen. For those of you attending in-person watch parties tonight, or for those of you who got a watch kit in the mail, you also have the opportunity to use the giving envelopes provided by your host. We will tally those up at the end of the night with the rest of our gifts. We are tracking donations live, so as they come in, we'll be updating you throughout the evening. So you may have noticed Compassion has several celebrity pals who came out to support our telethon this evening, and I wanted to take a minute to just introduce a few of them. I have with me right now Gloria Estefan from Miami Sound Machine.
Conga. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, everybody. Let's get into the giving groove. Come on, don't be shy.
Thanks, Gloria. We'll meet a few more of our celeb pals later in the program. But for now, don't forget to tag a friend and share this live event with others who may want to tune in if they're not already watching. I mentioned earlier in our program the number of ways Compassion Connect unites churches to serve communities. One of the main ways is bringing them together to fight human trafficking and exploitation. This is a huge problem in our region and the world over. Tonight, I have with us Anna Johnson, Compassion Connect's Communications Director, to tell us a little bit about the myths and realities regarding the issue.
Thanks, Rosh. Well, just to start off with, I am standing in for our anti-trafficking director, Linda Tribbett, tonight, whose family had an emergency, and she and her husband, Gary, had to leave tonight to go take care of that. And so our thoughts and prayers are with them, and we'll miss them tonight. But to answer your question, one of the myths about human trafficking and exploitation that has really been debunked in recent years is that trafficking only happens in faraway places overseas and that it's often a kidnapping situation. Sadly, trafficking is a thriving business in the United States, and it's often accomplished by someone posing as a friend or boyfriend and then emotionally manipulating young women and men into a life of exploitation. The youth who are primarily targeted are those who are facing complex challenges in their life that can make them more prone to manipulation, especially when they're hearing grand promises of belonging and love and stability that they haven't found in other areas of their lives. So for a number of years, Portland has been a hub for the sexual exploitation of women and children. And so we focus our efforts on rallying the church to fight this darkness, primarily through a prevention lens. We do this in two effective ways. The first is through our design studio mentoring model and outreach events such as Dress for Freedom. We believe that by modeling healthy relationships, teaching warning signs for trafficking, sharing life and career skills, and ultimately demonstrating the love of Jesus, that the church can make a big difference in these kids' lives. The second way is awareness through our Adorned in Grace bridal shops. We have 3 bridal and formal wear shops in Southwest Portland, Gresham, and Lakewood, Washington that sell beautiful donated dresses and are staffed by church and community volunteers who help spread awareness and raise funds to fight trafficking.
Wow, Anna, this is heartbreaking, and the need for prevention and awareness is huge. Is it true that the donations coming in tonight are going to aid in the work of anti-trafficking and exploitation work?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, I think this is amazing. Just amazing work. Wow, truly incredible work. Well, it's one thing to talk about prevention. It's a whole nother to see it in action. Let's take a closer look at just one of the locations where this mentoring work happens. Check out Compassion Connect's Adorned in Grace Design Studios.
Hello and welcome to the Design Studio. My name is Ashley and I'm a part of the Design Studio team. This space is a place where the youth can come, feel loved, cared for, and supported. This is where the girls come first, and this is where they usually hang up their phones. We ask the youth to set up their phones here. They get a little ticket and get to put it in a little box. And then at the end of the design studio, it gets picked out and they get to get a fun little prize, like chips, scrunchies, all that fun stuff. We ask the youth to put their phones right here, just so that they can be fully present at the design studio. Now this spot, the kitchen, is where some of the funnest and messiest memories are made. We have frosted cookies around this table, we have baked dinners, and just shared many laughs and memories. They say the way to a person's heart is through their stomach, and that really is true. Around these couches are usually where a lot of laughing, talking, and just sharing life together happens. Our mentors and our volunteers are people from local churches who come together unified to share God's love, build self-worth, and just create an atmosphere of love. The youth that come through these doors at the design studio can sometimes come from very complex challenges that can often be exploited by predators. That is why we call this place a home and a safe place, and that's why it's so important. We want the youth to come here, throw down their bags, take a deep breath, and just relax and feel homey and safe. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh my goodness, I love these tables, and I did too. These tables were created and made by one of our previous design studio groups. The girls within that group chose this very fun bright orange color and the design of it so that we can put these tables in many different formats and ways. Not only have we done homework, tutoring, all that fun stuff in this room, we've also had makeup classes and jewelry entrepreneurship programs done by our loving and caring, passionate mentors. With specifically our jewelry entrepreneurship program, the youth were taught and learned a lot of business skills as well as how to make jewelry. In turn, they got to sell their jewelry at the bridal shops and then earned an educational stipend from that. Now this space is where all the supplies is stored. Now, most of the youth that come to this design studio know this space more than I do. And that is exactly what we want. We want this space to be a comfortable and homey place where they can come. Also, with these sewing machines, we had mentors in the past who were super passionate about sewing. They in turn got to teach the girls at the time about sewing, about dyeing fabric, and all that fun stuff. Now, we don't only stick to relationships and activities here in the design studio. We also like to take the youth kind of off-site And in that, we take them to the beach sometimes, and then even to a very fun horse ranch called Echo Ranch, where they're able to paint the horses, teach or learn skills, all that fun stuff. Now this space right here, the final space I'll be showing you all today, is where a lot of crafts are done. Now these crafts can include mason jar, cotton ball, glitter paint activities, painting projects, creating journals, all of that kind of stuff. Again, this space wouldn't be what it is without the amazing mentors and volunteers that come through these doors. And it also would not be the same without the youth that come through these doors with their unique, creative, and fun, loving personalities. The Design Studio is a place where mentors and volunteers from all walks of life can come and share love and support and care to the youth who come here who need it most. Now, that could look like baking cookies, sitting around the couch and laughing and talking and sharing struggles, or sitting here and creating random fun crafts. Now, ultimately, we know that from our mentors and volunteers, the youth that walk through these doors are getting the ultimate gift, feeling and experiencing the love of Jesus and his faithfulness. Thank you so much for joining me on this tour, and I really hope that you all enjoyed it.
Thanks to each of you who called and texted about my mic and some of the feedback that you're hearing. It's all of you that make a difference, all of you that drive this work forward, even issues about mics. As you just saw, a lot happens at a design studio. There are 4 design studio locations in the Pacific Northwest, specifically in the Portland metro area, 2 in other states. We would like to see this grow with the help of your generous contribution. Just $53 can sponsor one young person to attend a design studio for 1 month, and $700 pays for a weekend retreat. Please help us serve more communities where passionate people of faith can mentor youth and aid in anti-trafficking and exploitation work. We mentioned our fundraising goal this evening is $100,000, and you just heard of one of the ways we use your gifts to change lives. Or, according to our lovely volunteers, we are now up to $31,427. Thanks to all of you who just gave, and a massive thanks to everyone who has chipped in so far. You truly are stepping up for such a time as this. We've still got a little ways to go to make our $100,000 goal, so remember, you can text to give or give online. Either way, we are looking for your one-time gift or monthly gifts. You can also submit gifts by sending in an envelope to your party host or giving us a call. All of those options are scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Now, I want to welcome Ashley Holston, who also serves on our anti-trafficking team. Ashley, what is uniting the church to serve youth and preventing trafficking work how's that looked in COVID-19? I'm sure you've had to adjust a few things.
Yes. So we definitely have had to get creative because many of our youth are spending most of their time at home, which presents both its internal challenges, but also external dangers as the increased wave of internet predators we've seen emerging during COVID-19. Some of the strategies we've used over the past several months to stay connected are to host our groups via Zoom and encourage individual mentors to safely meet with participants one-on-one. We're also able to mobilize generous local churches and community members to contribute hygiene items, crafts, snacks, and more to fill care packages that we delivered to the youth. In September, we also relaunched some of our groups in person with extra safety measures in place. And we look forward to a time soon when the rest of our groups can be together again. In the meantime, we will continue to innovate.
Ashley, that is truly fantastic. Thanks for sharing about the meaningful anti-exploitation work that you contribute through the design studios. It's truly amazing work. Now, in a few minutes, we're going to hear from one of our design studio participants. But first, before we do that, I wanted to introduce you to more of our celebrity pals. Welcome Tom Selleck, best known for his role on Magnum PI. Tom, you remember what we talked about, leaving your helicopter at home, right?
Scout's honor, Rosh. I'm on my best behavior tonight.
Thanks, Tom. We also have Madonna here doing her classic Vogue moves.
You know, I truly believe that these donations are going to put us over the borderline, but for now, I'll be clasping my hands and pray that we truly make it.
Thanks, Madonna. I cherish that vote of confidence. One of the best ways to hear about how your gifts change lives is from Mia, one of our participants who has been active in our Clackamas Design Studio for several years. Here's her story as told to our Design Studio coordinator, Rachel Murfitt. Here's Mia on how the experience at our design studios changed her life.
Hello, my name is Rachel Murfitt, and I am the coordinator for the Design Studio program with Compassion Connect. And I'm here today with lovely Mia, and she attends one of our Design Studio groups, our Clackamas group. And I'm going to ask her some questions, and I'll start off asking her to tell us a little bit about herself.
I'm Sanchez. I'm 13, and I'm in the 8th grade. And I'm here to tell you guys a little bit about my experience with Design Studio and Girls Group and all my mentors. So I hope you guys enjoy the interview.
So I'll start off asking you, Mia, can you describe your relationship with your mentors over the years at the Design Studio?
Oh gosh, they're all the first day I went to a design studio, I went just to go visit and decide if I wanted to go. So I didn't know they had a visitor in, and I didn't know what they were doing. I just walked in and they're like, "Oh, hello, how are you?" They were very welcoming. Everyone in the group is respectful. They support each girl that's in the group. They feel like they're part of your family. Like if you go in, they're like, I don't know, they're so comfortable with you. They don't like act like awkward or like uncomfortable. They're basically finding a way for you to get out of like the little box that you're in, if you know what I mean.
What are some of the favorite things you've done either at a design studio or even outside of a design studio with your mentors?
Probably an activity was with one of our mentors, with Angela. We had our little camping, like, I don't know, it was like a camping trip that we had. The camping, like the place that we were going to was canceled because of all the COVID and everything. So she actually made a camping trip at her house. So we went to go camp over there and we did so many things. We tie-dyed. She had inflatable pools for us set out. So it was very fun. And then if one girl's like sad or like bummed out or something that's happening at home or in school, they're always there to help you like cheer them up or like get cheered up if you have something out of design studio that's going on.
Can you think of a way that you personally have grown or something you've learned since you've been part of the design studio?
Probably being more social, because I would walk into a room and I wouldn't be like, "Oh, hello," and like say hi to everyone. I would just like wave like hi and just like keep my distance away from people. But ever since I've gone to girls group, they've showed us how to like greet people and how to be respectful according to the occasion or event. So I basically opened up to like meeting new people, trying new things, because they're just there and they like give you tips and hints on how to be more social. And that's how I opened as a person when I came into design studio for the first time.
How do you feel when you first walk into a design studio now that you've been going for a while? I know we haven't been able to meet because of COVID, but what's the kind of feeling when you walk in the room?
I feel welcomed. I feel loved. I feel accepted. Like other groups that I've gone, they're not as like comfortable with each other than we are in design studio. They're there helping me get out of my comfort zone of being in a small like closed area.
What would you say to a girl who was thinking about going to a design studio?
I would tell her to do it. 100% do it, because it changed me and it changed many other girls that joined. Many people before, when they joined first, they were very shy, and now when we go to group, I see them and I'm like, wow, they're actually not as shy as they were. Because I would just tell them, I would be like, oh, you should join because they're so comfortable. They're very welcoming, they're loving, and they'll really support you on anything that you need.
What about someone who was thinking about being a mentor?
I would also tell them 100% to join because one, it shows that they actually care of helping other people and other girls in design studio. Like it shows them that they're a role model. That's the word I'm looking for. Like every girl out there they look up to the mentors.
Well, Mia, thank you so much for your time. And I'm sure everyone can see now why we love you so much and why you are such a blessing in our lives. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Wow. Thanks so much for Rachel and Mia for sharing this amazing experience. Remember, you can give now to support that mission through the options listed on your screen. If you felt compelled by Mia's story and other stories you've heard so far tonight, please check out our volunteer opportunities at www.compassionconnect.com. We're getting closer to our goal, but we still need your help. At this time, I have a very exciting announcement to make. An extremely generous donor has put up $15,000 to match, so any gifts made right now tonight will be doubled up to $15,000. For those of you who want to sign up to become a monthly donor, remember that your full 12-month giving amount will be doubled. If you haven't given yet, now is your time. This is definitely the moment because your generosity will go twice as far. In just a few moments, Executive Director Mylan Homola will be back with us to share an inspiring message. But first, I want to share another way Compassion Connect unites churches to serve through free health clinics that are known as Compassion Clinics. It's one thing to hear about Compassion Clinics and another to see it in action. To give us an insider look, a few of our staff are about to take you on a powerful virtual tour. Let's take a look.
Hey everyone, my name is Namita and I'm the new director of the Compassion Clinics program, and this is Shinji, our equipment manager. I want to paint a picture for you all today of just what exactly a Compassion Clinic entails. Compassion Clinics are one-day pop-up events, which means we completely transform a space like a school gym or a church cafeteria into a full medical and dental clinic. To understand a part of how we do that, Shinji is putting together one of our custom-made mobile dental units, which we set up to give up to 20 people at one time full dental care. Fillings, cleanings, extractions, partial dentures, you name it. It's really amazing. Each of our clinics is planned and implemented by volunteer leaders representing a group of churches uniting in their own neighborhoods, with our team support every step of the way. The volunteer leadership team, consisting of doctors, dentists, pastors, and lay leaders, will meet for months leading up to their clinic, deciding exactly what services they want to offer at their clinic, and other details like location and timing. They're the experts of their unique community. We just offer our guidance and expertise. Depending on the unique leadership team, some clinics offer not only basic medical and dental care, but also things like chiropractic, vision, foot care, and more. Clinics also offer social services such as signing up for the Oregon Health Plan, and most clinics offer a hot meal. Each person comes into the clinic is our guest, and we have whole teams of volunteers dedicated to connecting with them, getting to know them, praying with them if there's an opportunity, and making sure they feel like the honored guests they are. Smaller clinics may see about 40 people over the span of a 4-hour clinic, whereas larger ones can see up to 400 people in a single day. You can imagine the amount of volunteers, supplies, and special equipment needed to make this possible. The most important thing a Compassion Clinic can offer goes beyond meeting physical needs, such as pulling teeth or taking blood pressure. It's that each guest who walks through the doors experiences the love of Jesus because of these wonderful churches and volunteers uniting to serve together.
I hope you all had fun on our tour. At this time, I'd like to welcome Portland Regional Director Elise Steele. Elise, can you share a little bit about the status of compassion clinics during COVID-19?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Rosh. So in early April, our team made the difficult decision to cancel all spring and early summer compassion clinics out of consideration for our volunteers and our guest safety. However, over the last several months, we have committed ourselves to learning exactly what it will take for us to relaunch clinics safely. Thanks to a panel of volunteers, experts, and our new clinics director, Namita, we were able to identify a list of new policies, supplies, and equipment that made it possible for us to host 2 clinics over this last several weeks. One of which was a new clinic, a brand new one in Tacoma, Washington. We know that many vulnerable populations have been hit hardest by COVID and have had difficulty accessing care over the past several months. So the need for compassionate medical, dental, and other types of care is more pressing than ever. We are continuing to collect the supplies that we need to host the upcoming clinics and improve the compassion clinic model overall. So thank you all for partnering with us in this essential service to your neighbors.
Elise, I cannot get over that these compassion clinics are led by local church volunteers, really just everyday people who have stepped up to serve in a way that is often radically outside of their comfort zone just to live out their faith. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's been our interactions with our amazing volunteers that have really shown us that God is working through these humble and serving and loving people to touch lives through Jesus. It's an honor to work alongside them.
Wow. Amen, Elise. Thank you so much. And thanks again for sharing of all the amazing things that goes on these compassion clinics. So, a little birdie just told me that one of our celebrities has an update on our giving meter. It looks like it's Joe Elliott, lead singer of popular 80s band Def Leppard. Oh.
You know, normally I would say that love bites, but with all this kindness and generosity going around, it's really putting me in a good mood. Looks like we're up to $50,493, which is fantastic. And if we don't raise the full goal, though, it's going to really bring on the heartbreak, you know?
Right there with you, Joe. I get it. I get it. So thanks for being here tonight, Joe. Appreciate it. So as you heard, gals and pals, in light of this progress report, I would like to ask each of you to consider making a generous gift right now. Partner with us in this amazing mission of unity and compassion. Giving options are scrolling on your screen right now. Thank you so much to everyone who has given so far. You guys are amazing. We are still looking for additional donations. So far, you've heard a little bit about compassion clinics from Elise, but I want to have you enjoy listening to this amazing testimony by Karen Schuster. Karen has accompanied her brother Ray, who is a 78-year-old veteran, to several compassion clinics, and she's eager to share with us tonight how the clinics have touched her brother's life.
Karen, thanks for coming and sharing your testimony. We just love hearing, and of course we want our donors to hear why this work is important. Can you tell us a bit about your experience at a compassion clinic?
Well, I'll tell you what, my brother, a veteran, he's 78 years old, and he's on his own, of course, and it's difficult for him to make ends meet. And we try to help him as much as we can, but these are difficult. And dental work is very expensive if you don't have any kind of coverage. And he has had significant need, and he was not able to have dental work done. And I'm not sure of how he became aware of the clinics, but when he did, I thought, wow, what a phenomenal thing that people are willing to give up their time, the dentists, the hygienists, the dental assistants, to help those that are in need. And as I visited the clinics with him, I have just been astounded at how many there are and really appreciative they are that your group is taking the time to help these people. What's really sad is, in my opinion, you have all these wonderful people out there that for one reason or another, life didn't come to them on a silver platter. They don't have the money. They might want to better themselves, but let's face it, when they go into a potential employer or even in a group of community and they have no teeth, they're rotted teeth out, they're not accepted right off the bat. It might stop them from getting a job. It might stop them from having a good group of friends because on how they look. And not only that, of course, that person can be in a great deal of pain. And to be able to have a caring group like you are to help them with their pain and to help them blend better into the community with making them feel and look normal, I think it's a wonderful blessing. And I couldn't say enough good things about what you're doing to help others. I would just say if all clinics function the way Compassion does, that it would be a real bonus to humanity. And well, Christ was a servant. He served and served, and so that's a real wonderful attitude to have, is to help other people.
What have you seen as the impact in Ray's life from his experience at the clinic and what he's received?
I would say it's given him hope, because he hasn't been able to do this on his own, to look normal. It affects everything about a person. It just changes your whole life. Because now when you go up and meet somebody, you're not hesitant because you feel normal, and maybe you couldn't chew your food before and now you can. So it affects the person, their own being, their own id, as far as how they come across to other people and how they feel about themselves. I know Ray has been encouraged to be able to get back to what he used to be in his younger years at one time and feel better about not being looked down upon because of his teeth. I would say because of his dealing with the clinic is that he's encouraged and he feels like he has hope to get back to himself and blend in better with society.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. That is what it is all about, right? It's just helping somebody come alive again.
Yes, exactly.
That's good.
Exactly.
Do you have anything else that you want to say that you would want to share with people when they talk about why is it important that compassion clinics exist?
I do believe that people having a place to go to have their dental work done is not only going to make them feel better about themselves, to feed off to making them contribute more to their community because they're going to be accepted better. I just hope you get lots of people that want to help and that have the ability to. You can't give what you don't have, but if you have some to share with others, I think you'll feel really good when you lay your head down on the pillow at night and know that you helped somebody rather than just yourself.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you. I feel honored you asked me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow, what a beautiful story from Karen. It's incredible how all of this comes to life. Compassion Connect's anti-trafficking and community health work are both powerful ways that churches from all over can say, we may have our differences, but we all love Jesus, and we want to share that love with others through meaningful acts of service. In 2019, we partnered with churches to host 34 Compassion Clinic events, and although COVID-19 temporarily paused operations, we are ready to continue uniting churches to serve with safety precautions in place and compassion intact. For one last time tonight, I want to bring up Mylon Humla, co-founder and executive director, to share a little bit more about the vision, dreams, and what the journey of compassion can look like for each of you during such a time as this. Let's welcome Mylon Humla.
Thanks, Raj. Appreciate it. I'm going to start this kind of vision point with just an assumption that we all feel the impacts of trying to live and breathe in the midst of two pandemics. One that's eating away at our physical sense of safety, and the other that's nagging at deeper soul questions of identity history, social systems. But for such a time as this, the emotions of confusion and fear, they're palpable. Though often undiagnosed, they manifest themselves in our social media posts, our relationships, and all other arenas where human life ought to flourish. There are social pressures that are overwhelming each of us, and they so often go unnamed for such a time as this. There's a near rabid push for justice, but a lot of confusion about the source and the look of justice. I don't know about you, but sometimes it feels like my head is spinning, and I'm not sure how to handle all the inputs and the data points. It causes great confusion for me. It's in those moments that I've learned to stop, take a breath, and remember. Remember a foundational truth about justice and a critical strategy to walk it out. Both the truth and the strategy are realities that we aim to live out every day at Compassion Connect. Here's the truth. From Psalm 89, the psalmist writes this. It says, righteousness and justice are the foundation of your throne. That's God's throne. Unfailing love and truth, they walk before you as attendants. Happy are those who hear the joyful call to worship, for they will walk in the light of your presence, Lord. You see, we live in confusing times, and what justice looks like is a point of debate. A world free from racism, a society that values life from conception onward, a world where all people are honored as having value and dignity because God created them as such. We find ourselves arguing about such things. But I believe the deeper question is, where does true justice come from? What's the root of justice? Because the root ought to help us navigate the way we walk out justice. As the psalmist tells us, righteousness and justice are the root or the foundation of God's throne. You see, He cares deeply about these matters that we face today. Therefore, we must care. And sometimes we get ahead of ourselves. We forget just how inadequate each of us are to dream up and craft justice on our own. We forget the appropriate starting place. You see, we live in a world that wants justice without the King of justice, a kingdom without the King. There is a throne, of that I'm convinced, but it's not my throne or your throne to sit upon, despite all our efforts to do so. You see, when we act as the definer of justice, we act as though we're on the throne. And in that case, even our best efforts will ultimately lead to treacherous kingdoms disguised in all forms of goodness. God sits upon the throne, and justice will flow through us as we humbly embrace that truth. And I guarantee it will be just, equitable, and right, because His throne is birthed from such places. Now that's the truth. Now a strategy to walk it out. You see, the people of God, they have an opportunity right now for such a time as this. In the midst of confusion, division, and apathy, and anxiety, we're invited to live lives of love, peace, and reconciling power. Now, one way that we can do this is live out Jesus' vision when He prayed, by your love, or when He said, by your love for one another, the world will know that we're followers of Him. He's the best version of justice. And I know with all my heart that oneness as a body, oneness as a community is the strategy that cannot be quarantined during these pandemics. When we practice this oneness, we're displaying grace, forgiveness, reconciliation, and mercy. I've yet to find a neighborhood that doesn't need to taste and see that kind of lifestyle. This is why Compassion Connect unites to serve, so that love and grace would pour out into our streets. This truth and this strategy, they've helped me on this confusing journey of late. Compassion Connect, it exists to help inspire and equip you along that journey as well. It's unity and compassion. Now, how do we do this at Compassion Connect? Just put simply, We gather, inspire, and equip leaders and communities at the neighborhood level. These are leaders and churches who humbly acknowledge they can't do it all by themselves in isolation. They want to work together. These are churches and communities who've laid down the pride of competition and self-made solve all problems. Self-made and solve all programs. We provide opportunities for volunteers to put their gifts and skills to work in their neighborhood while linking arms with others. We see churches and individuals everywhere, choosing unity over division and compassion over complacency. Now, what does it look like in action? Well, that's what you've been seeing tonight. But a brief summary, right? For nearly 15 years, we've been helping teams of churches and community members host compassion clinics in their own backyard. You got to see what that looked like in a great video tour. Now, how did we have to innovate with these communities in 2020? You've heard some of that. But immediately, we jumped in and pulled together neighborhood-sized Zoom calls for churches and leaders who were part of these clinics in different communities. We called them Be the Church calls. Our aim was to help them stay connected, to pray together and consider how to be proactive going forward in this crisis. I'm super proud of the team, how they've relaunched Compassion Clinics in a way that is safe, but also timely for those who are overlooked and forgotten in this shutdown. We've seen 2 clinics relaunch already with great celebration. Now, the Compassion Clinics, they have very specific needs that you can help contribute to tonight. Just $68.50 can sponsor one guest to receive medical, dental care, lunch at a Compassion Clinic. You're going to see these options on the screen. These are just ideas to spark your generosity. We know that we need new PPE. This is an added cost for the supplies. It's about $100 per clinic, so all of next year, maybe $3,000 to meet the safety needs and provide these essential supplies for the coming year. We need to add surgical handpieces to the dental supplies list, which would cost about $900. And you can even sponsor a mini clinic in a neighborhood, help them cover the costs that go beyond what those small churches can cover themselves. $680 to sponsor that. Now, you've heard about the clinics and the great giving opportunities there, the needs. Adorned in Grace. You saw an amazing testimony. You got to hear a great interview, a beautiful tour. For 10 years, we have a wonderful team that's been uniting people to battle sexual exploitation in creative, empowering ways. You've heard about the design studio mentoring model, the dress shops. This darkness, and it is a darkness, of sexual exploitation can only be battled by the united light of God's people who link arms and uphold His truth about the value and worth of each human being. This is more important than ever right now. Because of the ripple effects of COVID, isolation and internet use have increased, and these are some of the huge root causes of exploitation. They've been magnified and increased, and we need more churches and volunteers who will take a stand for the beauty and dignity of our young people who are targets of predators during this isolating time. You can help. There's some specific ways. You've already heard some examples. I'm going to share another one. This is a great one that I actually participated in. I just watched. But a group of design studio girls, they got to go to a horse therapy ranch. $200 can finance an outing where we take a group to the horse therapy ranch. It's Echo Ranch. It's an amazing place. They get dinner. They get to just get away from their neighborhoods. Maybe some of you out there, I know there's some people out there who say that model is so important for the youth and for our future, and this darkness of sexual exploitation is so dark. There are people who can give $7,500 to finance an entire design studio for a whole year. Now, these are the examples that have started in Portland and grown, but we know it's growing. How is it growing? In 2018, we stepped out in faith to boldly share these models and the vision and values with more leaders. Our goal was simple: to see local leaders in different regions utilize the existing tools that we had created, innovate around new models that they create in their own communities, and that they would spread the vision of unity and compassion. We aimed to launch one new regional epicenter each year starting in 2019. I'm excited to share just a brief update on our first epicenter, the amazing team in Arizona. They continue to grow and serve with incredible sacrificial love. Even through COVID, they had so many families that they were serving door to door. They've served 339 families this year alone. This amazing group. In January 2020, the second epicenter launched. That's the Puget Sound epicenter. They are doing Adorned in Grace, anti-exploitation work, and then just 3 weeks ago, they boldly launched their first ever compassion clinic in Tacoma. It was a powerful and safe experience that will continue to have kingdom ripple effects. There are plans, this is brand new, it's like breaking news. We put the news banner up now, breaking news. There's a new epicenter about ready to get started in the Boise, Idaho region in January 2021. As they've caught the vision, they've been serving well. There's a great team there. They've been doing clinics, and now they want to grow. They want to spread it throughout that area of Idaho. I continue to follow the Lord in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area with open hands. I've been encouraged and challenged by the opportunities and the hurdles. Most recently, I was very encouraged. I was invited into a pastor's gathering in the neighborhood where George Floyd was killed, because those churches, they want help praying together, uniting, and serving together. And they asked me to come and just serve them. I also helped start and lead a collaborative of anti-exploitation organizations and churches. It's called Restore Honor. The website's right there. Check it out. It's really cool. Now to wrap it up, I remain calm and confident that we're being faithful to what we've been called to do. I remain incredibly thankful for the thousands of volunteers and dozens of churches who humbly live out these realities every day, and for the business partners who see the community value of this kind of work. I'm asking for your partnership in this journey. Through the remainder, we're looking to get through the end of 2020 and start strong in 2021. Every single one of you watching right now, you must know that you have an important role. You matter. And together, we will continue serving, inspiring, and equipping. This is an important moment right now to take a step and make a difference with your financial resources. I'm asking you straight up to give generously towards this mission. It's a mission that is essential in these divisive times. As you've heard tonight, we have some simple ways to give. You've seen ideas, just some examples of our needs. You've seen the options to give. You can text to give right now, 503-479-4591. Just put in the dollar amount and then click the link that comes as a reply to your text. You can also go directly to compassionconnect.com/donate. For those of you who are gathering in person, you also have just giving envelopes that you can fill out. If you do that, and you fill out an envelope right now and you want your donation counted towards the goal tonight and the match, please just text the number on your envelope and just send an anonymous text with the amount, and we'll add it to the thermometer. In a moment, I'm just going to pray over this time, and then we're going to hear a final song from Michael Allen Harrison to give you all time to consider, talk with whoever you need to talk with, or just be at peace and consider making a generous donation to this mission. And after that, stay tuned, because we're going to announce our raffle winners and just wrap things up. But before I do that, and before I just give you a couple minutes to take a breath and pause and make a donation, I just want to thank you for participating with us tonight. In an unusual setting, in unusual times, we find hope in the reality of a loving God who knows and loves each of us perfectly for such a time as this. Lord, I thank you that you are good and gracious, that you love us perfectly, that you love us in the midst of confusion, the midst of anxiety, depression, whatever it is that everyone is facing who's listening to this right now. Lord, you are enough. And so we turn to you. We ask, Lord, for peace. We ask for favor. I ask for provision. And Lord, I ask that a great just spirit of joy would fall over everyone who is participating right now and who will watch this later. We thank you for your graciousness and mercy and love in each of our lives. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Wow. Thank you again to Michael Allen Harrison. And I have to say, it is always so inspiring to hear from Mylan. We still have a bit to go to make our goal, so if tonight has lifted your spirits and inspired you to see how you can make a difference for such a time as this, please consider partnering with us through a gift right now. In just a minute, we will share the final total, but right now we're going to announce our raffle winners. Our regional director, Elise, is here to help us select 3 lucky winners from the bowl. Thank you so much to everyone who has submitted fun photos of you having a good time tonight. We also love seeing your enthusiasm. Let's find out who our winners are.
All right. So first, I'm going to announce the winner of the raffle for those who RSVP'd early. And that is Kaylee Molina. Congratulations, Kaylee. We will go ahead and contact you for getting your prize. And then now for the people who submitted photos on social media, we have Mirren Smith, congratulations to both of our wonderful winners. We will be reaching out to you with information on how to receive your Compassion Connect swag.
Thanks so much, Elise. Yeah. All right, friends. Now it's time to wrap up, and we have our final tally. Thanks to each person who's donated tonight, our final count at this very moment is that right? $62,472. And donations are still coming in as we speak. We are truly touched by your generosity. Thank you for stepping up during a time in history when churches are needed more than ever to be the ambassador of unity, compassion, and hope. We hope that you will continue to be generous and give until we wrap up, and even online when we are off air. Can I have all of the staff who's joined me tonight so we can close? This team is amazing. If I could just tell you how truly inspirational it has been for me to walk alongside each of these individuals. And it is because of you and our thousands of amazing volunteers that we get to do this work, and we look forward to continuing the journey with you and creating a new normal that looks much more like the kingdom of God. Thank you again to our presenting sponsor, DCI, our business sponsors and hosts, to Clear Creek Church for hosting us this evening, and most of all, to each of you for watching this evening. You are an essential part of this mission and movement. It has been my complete honor to be your host this evening. Thank you, God bless, and good night.
Bye.
Bye.